good evening, and welcome back to the channel, where we don't just report the news, we dissect the very heart and soul of the game. Tonight, we're not talking about a potential move. We're talking about a seismic shift, a whisper that has grown into a roar, threatening to tear apart one franchise and elevate another to unforeseen heights. Are you, like me, absolutely stunned, perhaps even a little heartbroken, watching the once promising Dallas Mavericks crumble before our very eyes? Do you feel that sense of bewildered frustration as a team with championship aspirations seems to be spiraling into an abyss, leaving a trail of questions and shattered hopes in its wake? And what if, amidst this chaos, a superstar, a true generational talent, is already eyeing the exit, yearning for a return to his roots, to a city that could finally unlock his full, unbridled potential? For years, the NBA landscape has been defined by its unpredictable twists and turns, but few sagas have captured the imagination. And indeed, the exasperation, quite like the ongoing drama surrounding Anthony Davis. From the moment he first donned an NBA jersey, the whispers of his eventual destination have followed him like a shadow, a constant undercurrent in his illustrious career. Now, those whispers have coalesced into a thunderous declaration, a bombshell dropped by none other than former NBA star John Wall, suggesting that Davis, the perennial all-star, the defensive titan, the offensive force, has his sights set on a return to the Windy City, a move that could redefine the entire league. This isn't just a rumor, it's a potential earthquake, a domino effect waiting to happen, and tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on the astonishing collapse in Dallas, the surprising rise of Chicago, and the blockbuster trade proposal that could send shockwaves across both conferences. Get ready, because the future of two franchises, and perhaps the championship picture, is about to be rewritten. The narrative unfolding in Dallas is nothing short of a catastrophe, a bewildering descent from hopeful contender to Western Conference cellar dweller. Just weeks into the season, the Mavericks find themselves mired in a disastrous 3-9 record, languishing at the bottom of the standings, a stark and painful contrast to the lofty expectations that surrounded them. The optimism that once permeated the organization has evaporated, replaced by a palpable sense of confusion and despair. Night after night, the team appears lost on offense, a disjointed collection of talent struggling to find any semblance of rhythm or cohesion. The statistics are damning. Dallas ranks among the worst in the league in points scored, offensive efficiency, three-point percentage, and assists. It's a collective failure, a systemic breakdown that points directly to the struggles of Jason Kidd's implemented system, which for all its promise has simply failed to ignite. Adding insult to injury, the Mavericks have been plagued by a relentless onslaught of injuries, further exacerbating their woes. Kyrie Irving, a crucial offensive cog, is sidelined, and perhaps most concerningly, Anthony Davis himself has missed 7 consecutive games due to yet another injury. This recurring fragility, this inability to stay consistently on the court, has been a persistent shadow over Davis's career, and it's a major concern for any team considering his future. But the troubles in Dallas extend beyond the court. The recent dismissal of general manager Nico Harrison has plunged the franchise into a state of flux, signaling what is to all intents and purposes a complete organizational overhaul, whether they publicly admit it or not. A new front office must be appointed, a new vision established, and in the interim, the team's offensive identity remains utterly non-existent. With key players injured and the system faltering, the burden has fallen heavily on the shoulders of the team's future 18-year-old phenom Cooper Flagg, the presumptive first overall draft pick, who has already emerged as their primary offensive weapon. This is a clear sign of a team in distress, a franchise teetering on the brink of a full-scale rebuild. And if that decision is made, if the Mavericks choose to wipe the slate clean and start anew, then Anthony Davis, for all his talent and star power, will undoubtedly be the first domino to fall. This brings us to the electrifying revelation that has sent shockwaves through the NBA community. The source? None other than former NBA All-Star John Wall, who, on the popular Run It Back TV program, dropped a bombshell that has ignited the rumor mill. Wall stated, with an air of knowing certainty, "You have been hearing that he wants to go back to Chicago and see what's going on. This isn't just idle speculation. This is a declaration from someone with deep ties to the league, a voice that carries weight. And just like that, the long-standing rumors connecting Anthony Davis to his hometown of Chicago have resurfaced with a vengeance. It's a narrative that has shadowed Davis since his days as a budding superstar in New Orleans, a persistent whisper that he would one day return to play for the Bulls. Now, with the Mavericks season spiraling into disarray, those whispers have transformed into a clamor, a very real possibility that could reshape the league. It's a cruel twist of fate for Dallas, but a tantalizing prospect for Chicago. While the Mavericks are drowning in a sea of losses and uncertainty, the Chicago Bulls have quietly emerged as one of the early surprises of the Eastern Conference. With a respectable 6-5 record, they are playing inspired basketball, a testament to their improved chemistry and individual performances. Josh Giddey, the dynamic young guard, has been nothing short of sensational, playing like an all-star and consistently flirting with triple-double averages, showcasing his elite playmaking and scoring prowess. Nikola Vucevic, the veteran big man, appears sharper, more engaged, and more effective on both ends of the floor. The team is gelling, exceeding expectations, and demonstrating a resilience that has captivated their fan base. Now, imagine adding Anthony Davis to that already promising mix. Suddenly, Chicago wouldn't just be a pleasant surprise. They would instantly become a legitimate force, a true pillar of defensive dominance, and a bona fide title contender in what is, by all accounts, an unstable and wide-open Eastern Conference. Davis, a local hero, returning to play for the team he grew up watching, would not only electrify the fan base, but also provide the Bulls with the missing piece they need to challenge the league's elite. His unparalleled defensive versatility, his ability to guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and control the boards would transform Chicago into a defensive juggernaut. On offense, his scoring ability, his pick-and-roll prowess, and his capacity to stretch the floor would unlock new dimensions for their attack, making them incredibly difficult to defend. The fit is not just good. It's almost perfect, a symbiotic relationship that could propel both Davis and the Bulls to championship glory. The question, then, is not if Davis would be a good fit, but how such a monumental trade could actually materialize. Fortunately, the brilliant minds at Fadeaway World have already laid out a compelling blueprint, a trade proposal that offers concrete benefits for both sides, making it a truly viable scenario. Here's the proposed blockbuster. The Dallas Mavericks receive Coby White, Zach Collins, Patrick Williams, a 2029 Chicago Bulls first-round draft pick, and a 2031 Chicago Bulls first-round draft pick. Let's break down the genius of this deal. For the Chicago Bulls, this is the ultimate prize, a bona fide franchise-altering talent in Anthony Davis. He is a two-way superstar, a player who can single-handedly elevate a team's ceiling and provide the defensive anchor and offensive firepower needed to contend for championship. His arrival would instantly make the Bulls a formidable presence in the East, a team that commands respect and strikes fear into opponents. This is the kind of move that transforms a promising season into a historic one, solidifying their place among the league's elite. For the Dallas Mavericks, while parting with a player of Davis's caliber would be painful, this trade offers a clear and compelling path forward, a strategic pivot towards a brighter future centered around their young phenom, Cooper Flagg. In return for Davis, Dallas would acquire a trio of promising young players. Coby White, a dynamic scoring guard who has shown flashes of brilliance, Zach Collins, a versatile big man who can contribute on both ends of the floor, and Patrick Williams, a high-upside forward with defensive potential. These are not just throw-ins. These are young, developing pieces who fit the timeline of a rebuild and could seamlessly integrate alongside Flagg, forming a cohesive and exciting young core. Crucially, the Mavericks would also replenish their depleted draft stock with two valuable first-round picks in 2029 and 2031. In an era where draft capital is king, these picks offer the flexibility to acquire more young talent, make future trades, or simply build through the draft, ensuring a sustainable path to contention. This isn't just a trade, it's a strategic realignment, giving both sides something concrete and valuable to build upon. The Mavericks, of course, can publicly deny these rumors, they can issue statements of confidence, and they can try to project an image of stability. But the truth is, these rumors will not simply disappear. Not as long as the losses continue to pile up, not as long as Anthony Davis remains sidelined with injuries, and certainly not as long as the team struggles to find an identity. Davis, even at 32 years old, remains one of the most dominant two-way players in the entire league. When healthy, his impact on both ends of the court is undeniable, and his presence transforms any team into an immediate contender. Chicago, seeing their surprising early success and the potential to add a hometown superstar, has every single reason to aggressively pursue him. This is a window of opportunity, a chance to seize greatness, and they would be remiss not to explore every avenue. The Dallas Mavericks, it seems, are hanging by a thread. A few more losses, a few more disappointing performances, and that thread could snap, sending them hurtling into a full-scale rebuild. If that happens, they won't just be rebuilding around the immense talent of Cooper Flagg. They'll be doing it without the star power and defensive prowess of Anthony Davis. The stakes couldn't be higher, the tension couldn't be more palpable. This isn't just about a trade. It's about the very identity of two franchises, the aspirations of a superstar, and the shifting power dynamics of the NBA. The basketball world is watching, holding its breath, waiting to see if this seismic shift will indeed come to pass. So, what's your take, Basketball Nation? Is Anthony Davis's desire to play for the Chicago Bulls a foregone conclusion, or just another chapter in the endless rumor mill? Do you believe this proposed trade is the perfect solution for both the struggling Mavericks and the surging Bulls? We want to hear your passionate arguments, your bold predictions, and your unfiltered opinions. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Jump into the conversation. Hit that like button if you're captivated by this unfolding drama, and drop a comment below telling us what you think about AD's future and the potential impact of this blockbuster deal. Let's keep this discussion burning bright.